For thousands of years, one of the greatest civilizations in human history thrived in silence. No pyramids, no famous pharaohs, no battlefield conquests written in stone, just cities. Enormous, carefully planned cities stretching across what is now Pakistan and northwestern India, home to over 5 million people at their peak. The Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization. And for a long time, we knew almost nothing about where they came from. Scientists have spent decades piecing together the story of the ancient world using DNA. They cracked the origins of the ancient Egyptians, they traced the roots of the Sumerians, they mapped the ancestors of the Romans and the Greeks. But when they finally turned their attention to the Indus Valley, to Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, what they found stopped them cold. The DNA did not match what anyone expected. The Indus Valley Civilization emerged around 3300 BCE, roughly the same time as ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. At its height between 2600 and 1900 BCE, it was the largest of the three great ancient civilizations by geographic area. Their cities had underground sewage systems, grid-based streets, standardized brick sizes used across settlements separated by hundreds of miles. They had their own script, one that has never been decoded. And then, around 1900 BCE, they were gone. Not gone through war. Not through a single catastrophic event. The cities were simply abandoned. People dispersed. The script disappeared. The centralized civilization collapsed in a way that left historians arguing for over a century about what actually happened. For a long time, the leading theory was invasion. A warrior people from the north swept in and displaced the Harappans. But genetics was about to complicate that story enormously. In 2019, a landmark study published in the journal Cell analyzed ancient DNA extracted from a single female skeleton discovered at the Harappan burial site of Rakhi Garhi in northwestern India. This was one of the most significant ancient DNA findings in years, because Rakhi Garhi was one of the largest Harappan cities ever excavated, and this skeleton was old, genuinely deeply old, dated to somewhere between 2800 and 2300 BCE, right at the height of the civilization's power. The results were extraordinary. The Rakhi Garhi individual showed almost no ancestry from the steppe, the vast grasslands of Central Asia from which many Bronze Age migrations originated. She also showed no ancestry from ancient Iranian farmers who had spread east across the region in earlier millennia. What she did show was a genetic profile closely related to ancient South Asian hunter-gatherers, a population that researchers call the ancestral South Indians, or ASI. In simple terms, the people who built one of history's greatest civilizations appear to have been largely descended from populations that had lived in South Asia for tens of thousands of years. That sounds like a clear answer, but it created a much bigger question. Because when scientists looked at the modern populations of South Asia, the 1 billion-plus people living in the region today, the genetic signature of those Harappan ancestors is present, but it is mixed, diluted, and complicated. A very large proportion of the ancestry of modern South Asians, particularly in northern India and Pakistan, comes from a completely different source. Those steppe migrations, the very migrations the Rakhi Garhi woman showed almost none of, which means something dramatic happened between the fall of the Harappan civilization and the populations we see today. A massive influx of people, likely the Indo-Aryan migrations, poured into the subcontinent after the cities collapsed. They brought new languages, new genetics, and over time, a new cultural order. The Harappan genetic signature didn't disappear, but it was overwhelmed. The civilization that built Mohenjo-daro is genetically underrepresented in the very people who live on top of its ruins today. Let that land for a moment. There are populations alive right now in isolated communities in southern India, in certain tribal groups, who carry a higher proportion of that original Harappan ancestry than the people living in the cities built on Harappan soil. The genetic descendants of one of the ancient world's greatest civilizations are not always where geography would lead you to expect, but the mystery goes deeper still. Because the Rakhi Garhi sample was a single individual, one data point, and ancient DNA research is painstaking, difficult work. Skeletal remains from the Indus Valley are rare, preservation conditions are challenging, and the region sits at the center of some of the most politically and historically sensitive debates in modern South Asian identity. Subsequent efforts to extract usable ancient DNA from other Harappan sites have had mixed success. Each new sample adds a piece, but the full picture remains frustratingly incomplete. What scientists have been able to do is use a technique called genetic modeling, working backwards from the DNA of modern populations to reconstruct what ancestral populations must have looked like. And those models consistently point to a Harappan-related population as one of the major founding groups of virtually all South Asian peoples alive today. The Harappans are genetically present in nearly every South Asian alive. They just aren't present in the way or in the proportion that their civilization's scale would suggest. And then there is the question of where the Harappans themselves came from. The Rakhi Garhi woman's ancestry traced back to ancient South Asian hunter-gatherers. But those people did not appear from nowhere. The deeper genetic modeling suggests a population history stretching back tens of thousands of years to the first modern humans who migrated out of Africa and eventually reached South Asia, perhaps as early as 65,000 years ago. Some of that ancient lineage, preserved and accumulated over millennia, eventually produced the people who learned to farm, who built cities, who designed sewage systems, and wrote in an undecoded script. The Harappans, in other words, may represent one of the oldest continuous human lineages connected to a major ancient civilization anywhere on Earth. There is one more thread that scientists have been pulling on, and it leads somewhere unexpected. A small but detectable genetic signal in some Harappan-related ancestry shows connections to ancient populations in what is now Iran. Not the later Iranian farmers who spread east, but an older, more basal Iranian lineage. Some researchers believe this points to a very early mixing event, perhaps 8,000 to 10,000 years ago, when early farming communities from the Iranian plateau moved eastward and mixed with the hunter-gatherers already living in South Asia. That mixing event, thousands of years before the Harappan cities even existed, may have been the genetic foundation on which the entire civilization was eventually built. What this all means taken together is that the Indus Valley Civilization was not the product of migration or conquest. It was not built by people who arrived from somewhere else and displaced an existing population. It grew from within, from people who had called South Asia home for an almost incomprehensible length of time, slowly developing the skills, the social complexity, and the cultural sophistication that eventually produced cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro. And then those cities fell, and the people dispersed, and the steppe migrants arrived, and the genetics reshuffled in ways that still echo in every South Asian person alive today. The Indus Valley Civilization left no deciphered texts, no named kings, no great battles recorded for posterity, but they left something else, something that no empire, no migration, and no millennium of time has been able to fully erase. They left it in the genome, and scientists are only now finally beginning to read it.